I'm going to show you how Westerns are a great choice for low-budget lighting. So in my last video, I discussed my researching process. So I'm going to skip that here, but if you're interested in how I came to these conclusions, then definitely check out that video. In the Oscar-winning film Unforgiven, we see a lot of examples of something called low-key lighting.
Like the low-key lighting, huh? That's all right with me.
Low-key lighting accentuates shadows and high contrast and dark tones. It's usually achieved by using one hard light source or by not filling in light, not having a fill light. In fact, Clint Eastwood said that one of the reasons that he used to use low-key lighting was because he didn't like to have to pay to have another fill light brought in to his set. So while he saved some money with this technique, it was perfect for this film. You see, Unforgiven is a masterful examination of morals, redemption, and the consequences of murder.
It's a hell of a thing, killing a man. You take away all he's got, and all he's ever gonna have.
Low-key lighting is ideal for this because it shows the dark natures of characters by casting them in deep shadows and using dark and dramatic backgrounds, such as a saloon after sunset. In many of the scenes, the characters' eyes are barely visible until conflict is imminent. And even then, we only see a glimpse of the light hit their face. Most of these scenes were lit using practical lights, which are just lights we see here in this shot. See this one hard light, and the rest 4 practical lights are what's used to light this room. In this next scene, you can get a better view of the hard light, and you can see it as no diffusion. Not giant lights we see in some modern films. Now, are you going to achieve the same quality of light that you see in these scenes from Unforgiven? Probably not. Proper low-key lighting can be very difficult, and my point here is that in Westerns, we embrace imperfection. Not having a fill light, maybe not having a soft light source, all really help keep costs down, but it also makes it seem more real. Let me show you an example of a higher budget lighting setup from something that looks good, but it's literally the opposite look of a Western.
First annual and probably never ever to be held again because Suki's on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Bracebridge dinner. I'm fine, everything's fine.
Full disclosure, I've seen every episode of Gilmore Girls. I'm a huge Gilmore Girl fan. Hashtag Team Jess, hashtag redo season 5. But that hair light, I remember watching it just thinking like, that's a bit much.
This has been my favorite episode of Gilmore Girls.
All right.
You guys were mad at each other and then you got back together.
Now, on the opposite side, we have a very unflattering natural light from the movie The Revenant. Based on a true story of the 1800s frontman Hugh Glass, who was left for dead in the harsh winter, the film had a notoriously long and difficult shoot in a snowy Canada and Argentina. The natural lighting and weather make this film immersive. The idea of using natural light makes the audience feel like this is really happening. Now, when it comes to using natural light, we can certainly get some of the same quality we see in The Revenant and in Unforgiven. The Unforgiven director, photographer Jack Green said,
"Our scenes were going to be as natural, daylight lit as possible. So what we've got in procedure of doing is shooting out days' work in town and then hurry out and shoot half a dozen shots as sun was coming along. So we got a lot of bang for our buck out of natural light and real sunset. You know, every cinematographer wants to be shooting only either in the first couple of hours of morning or the last couple of hours of evening. That is featured golden light. It makes every film look that much better.
The natural light in golden hour is the best lighting anyone can get for a Western. In the TV show 1883, we see this everywhere. The 1883 Emmy-nominated Cristina Alejandra Voros told Filmmaker magazine that when it came to shooting these wide vistas, it was all about natural light and bounce. Using bounces can also be a really easy way to take with you. In fact, This is a bounce light. This is actually a portable bounce that I bring with me on a shoot. So if you have a natural source, you can just you can keep this in your bag and break it out and just have it bounce directly into the subject. The TV show 1883 also used another easy lighting technique that we can use as amateur filmmakers, the sun flare. In Westerns, we often see a very natural lens flare in the frame that injects realism into the shots. Lens flares are a great way to ground a shot into reality. The deliberate use of a visual flaw, like a lens flare, means that the viewers associate the shot with a real-life scene. And it's another example of how modern Western cinematography embraces imperfection when it's real and authentic. Finally, perhaps one of the most obvious lighting techniques that we all see in Westerns that was in the last video is silhouettes. You can easily use this technique to either romanticize a moment or to accentuate an action scene. They help show the isolation of a character, which is a reoccurring theme in Westerns. They also are shown as transition shots, like in this scene from Unforgiven, where they travel to the main location. Another great use of silhouettes can be in establishing shots for landscapes. In this iconic opening and closing shot of Unforgiven, we see a great example of a silhouetted scene that just uses natural light for the sunset. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. If you disagree with anything or you see any points that I might have missed or observations, let me know in the comments below. This is still something I'm researching and trying to learn. So I would appreciate any insight someone has on this. Thanks again.